For my video, I'm going to talk about making red wine vinegar. Red wine vinegar has a lot of uses in cooking, and it's good for things like salads, and it really adds flavor to a lot of different foods. Red wine vinegar also has many good health benefits, and such as it has resveratrol in it, which is an antioxidant found in red wine, and it could be good for extending your lifespan, as we learned in the video we watched when we studied wine. The acid in wine vinegar can reduce levels of a hormone that our body produces called ghrelin. This could in turn help people to do things such as lose weight by helping to control their cravings. I was reading that red wine vinegar actually helped the Roman army survive the weather on the battlefield, and it gave them more endurance during fighting. So red wine vinegar really is, just an all-around good home remedy. The vinegar, it should ferment slowly. As it ferments, it develops like a slimy-like substance made of bacteria and acid, which is called the mother. And when you want to produce vinegar fast for commercial use, usually you pump in air to speed up the oxygenation and fermentation of the vinegar. And actually, a lot of chefs use leftover red wine to make their own vinegar. And I have some red wine here that wasn't actually stored properly, and it should have been on its side, somewhere dark, and it would be best at a temperature between 45 and 65 degrees. And this wine tasted almost like vinegar when it was open, so all we could really do with it is cook with it, or in this case, make vinegar. And here's the things we need to do to make your own vinegar. You need the wine. You need the mother of the vinegar, which right here. And in my situation, because I wasn't sure where to get like a natural form of the mother of the vinegar, I bought unpasteurized or raw vinegar because it's usually easier to find, and it has the mother in it. The mother is basically the bacteria that converts the alcohol that's in the wine to acid. I'm going to talk about the fermentation process. It needs the oxygen to take place in order for it to work, and it will start developing on the top of the liquid, but then it will end up sinking to the bottom. And you need a glass or ceramic container, which I have here, and it should be big enough so that the mixture doesn't take up the entire jar. And you want a lot of air space above to speed up the fermentation. And here I have cheesecloth to cover the jar so that no bugs or other junk gets in it, but you don't want oxygen to get in because the bacteria needs the oxygen. You do want the oxygen to get in because the bacteria needs the oxygen or the air to develop. So to start, I have vinegar here, and I'm going to add 1 cup of the unpasteurized vinegar. And I'm gonna pour it in here. And then I'm going to swirl it around so it coats the surface of the container. So this will help to kill any germs or bacteria that may still be in the container. And then I'm gonna add the red wine, and this should only fill the container 3/4 of the way, or less of the way full, so the oxygen area is large and has a lot of space. So I'm going to pour that here, and Then I'm gonna cover the top of the container with this cheesecloth, and I cut it earlier, and this helps so nothing gets in it, and you don't want things like bugs or dust or anything to get in it. And I have a rubber band here to place around here to make sure it's on there tightly, but we can't put a solid lid on it because we need the oxygen to get in, and the vinegar needs to be stored somewhere that the light won't get into it, and you want a temperature around 70 to 80 degrees. So I'm going to put it in a dark cabinet over here. Place it in there. So it's, and it takes time for this process to develop, so I'll check back in 2 weeks or so to see how it's coming along, and it may even need longer than that. And you will see a gel-like substance forming on the top, and that will be the mother that is actually turning the alcohol in the wine into the acid vinegar. And that process actually could take around 4 months, and I'm sorry, 3 months, and it should smell strongly like vinegar and not sweet or fruity like the wine would. When you know it's ready, you can use a coffee filter and strain the vinegar into sterilized jars for use later, which I have right here. And that's the end of it. That's how you make red wine vinegar.